the mic should be working. Yeah. Cool. All right. Most people are probably going to be most people are probably going to be coming back and watching this after we've kind of finished up. So we're going to just jump right into it. Obviously, at this moment in time, this is not a review of any products, but we're going to take a look at the G7 Pro in a little bit more detail, a little bit closer up, talk about it, a couple of features, a couple of things that you want to clear up. So someone did request that I do this. As some of you know, I have been using the G7 Pro for about a month now, and this thing is filthy. So proof that I have actually been using it. And it's got my thumbsticks on here as well. We do have another G7 Pro here though. So we've got two actually. So this is another one. This is a brand new sealed one. And we're going to get it opened up, talk about it, take a look at it. So this is the one that I've been testing. This is a test unit as well, by the way. So this isn't necessarily a finished product. This is going to be very similar to what you do see, if you have pre-ordered the G7 Pro or you decide to buy one, this is pretty much what you're going to get. Now, because it is still on pre-order, potentially the box might be slightly different. Some of the things that you get in there might be in slightly different places. Things can change right up until the very last minute. Which is kind of why we're not really reviewing the controllers as such. Some people have posted reviews, like some people have bought the controller in China and they received it quite quickly, and they've posted very short reviews, but they've been pretty much using the controller for about a day. So I don't really think the review is much to go off. If you definitely do want a little bit more detail about the controller and how it performs and everything, do hang around till about the end of the month when my review comes out, because it will go into much more detail, be much more informative, and again, I will have been using the controller for almost 2 months, so I'll have a pretty good idea of kind of how things have been. Why can I? Oh, there it is. I was just trying to find my blade. This is a brand new sealed one. We're gonna get this opened up. If you do have any questions along the way, I'll try to answer them, but there's going to be a lot of questions obviously I can't really answer at the minute. Let's get this thing unboxed. So this sleeve will slide up right here, and then we lay the box flat, and then it's kind of like an iPhone box where you just hold the top and it will slide on out. Really nice box actually. And then you'll be greeted with this. Just going to make sure everything doesn't fall out. So we'll pull out the controller in a little bag. And yeah, obviously it comes with these little foam things to protect the joysticks as well while it's in there. We do also have the dock. So that's pretty nice. USB-C on the back. It does have a little compartment in the bottom that you can open up, and it's got a USB port in there. And then we do also get the dongle right in the middle here. and you can actually use the USB port in there for the dongle. We'll show you that in a sec. Now, a couple of things that you do get with this that a couple of people are a little bit confused about is you do get this piece of foam here, and it's got 2 D-pads on it. So there's 3 D-pad options for this controller. Faceplate comes off as well. It is a 3-piece faceplate, so the whole faceplate does come off. Oh, it should do anyway. There we go. So it's in 3 pieces, and this allows you to swap out the thumbsticks and the D-pad. So you can pull the D-pad off, this new circular design that they've gone for, and you've got another couple of options. So it does come with a cross-shaped D-pad, and it does come with also like another circular one, but it's got more of a cross on it, so you can kind of feel the cross there. Again, I'm not going to be giving my opinions on things or anything like that until the full review, but just kind of showing you what you do get. You see, you've got 3 options. So yeah, if you don't like the new D-pad design, you've got a couple of options there. You can go back to the conventional. I mean, this is pretty much what you'll find on the other G7 controllers, as well as the Cyclone 2. So if you do like or prefer that, then there you have it. While I've been testing this controller out, I have just stuck with the one that it comes with, which is the one that just the circular one with the little dots on it. I'll get this thing back together for now. So yeah, that is your package pretty much. And if we do lift out the insert, you do get a cable. This is, again, pretty much what you'll get with the G7 SE and HE. They're the same kind of cable. A little bit of a different design, I think. I think I do have a G7 cable here to compare. No, I do not. Sorry. I don't seem to have those for some reason. Oh, I do. Here we go. So, is it exactly the same? Yep. Pretty much exactly the same as what you'll get with the G7 SE. Comes with a nice, the band, they're a nice length, braided. They last, my G7 SE one has lasted quite a while. So, yeah, not a bad cable at all. And then obviously we do get the usual user manuals and stuff. And with this being an Xbox licensed controller, you do also get 1 month of free Game Pass Ultimate. So you get this little booklet for joining the community Discord and stuff. You do get a nice big Gamesir sticker. 3 month of Game Pass Ultimate. I will be giving away this on one of my live streams over on my main channel. So if you want to come and hang out in one of those, I do give these out on the regular. Then you've got a nice big user manual with this one. So much bigger than what you'll find with other controllers, because there's a lot more to this one than, for example, the G7 SE and HE. There's a lot more kind of information, a lot more to know about it, really. But yeah, that's pretty much the unboxing. Controller does come with this new little thing. This is new. We've not really seen this on any other Gamesir products before, apart from the Cyclone 2 that I actually made this for. So I'll just grab that real quick, actually. So this is my Cyclone 2. And you'll notice on the top I've got something very similar. And it just slides on. So we've got this kind of mobile, well, smartphone holder bracket kind of slots on here. And I 3D printed this little thing that slides on and clips on. And it just provides a little bit of extra support for your cables. So kind of helps hold them in place, stops them wiggling around. And the G7 Pro actually comes with one of these. They've made one for it, and it does come off. So if you do want to use the smartphone holder bracket for anything else, for an actual smartphone holder, then you can do. But if you're using the controller wired, you can slip that thing on, and then your cable sits in there nice and securely. It just means it doesn't wiggle around, and it's a little bit more difficult for it to slip out. Whereas if we do take that off and then connect the cable, to be honest, it's a nice connection. It feels pretty sturdy. It does wiggle a little bit, but not really any more than anything else. I think the Cyclone 2 is a little bit wigglier. If that's even the right word to use. 2 buttons on the back, just like the G7 SE and HE. Button locks, so you can lock them so that they don't press. Another switch in the middle here. This is a new one because this is a wireless controller, so you can switch it from Bluetooth to dongle mode. Obviously, if you're going to use it wired, you just have it in dongle mode. That's the same as wired. 2 extra buttons on the top here. So these are new compared to the G7 SE. So this is my SE, and this one's a little bit filthy. Again, I have not cleaned this in a while. Wow, okay. These white controllers, especially this one, pick up dirt like so easy. It's kind of crazy, really. But yeah, same buttons on the back, same trigger kind of shape and style. But you do get those 2 extra buttons right on the top there. And yeah, G7 SE and HE faceplates will fit on this as well, as I showed in a short a little while ago, about a month ago when I first got the controller. You've got your usual M button at the bottom, share button, start, select, guide, and yeah, mechanical switches on the buttons, mechanical D-pad. With this one as well, you are going to get 2 extra switches on the back at the top, and you've got your usual Hall effect linear triggers. But if you flick these switches, you've now got a instant trigger option on this one as well, micro switch instant trigger, which we didn't have on the G7 SE before as well. Headphone jack as usual with a mute toggle, but on this one there is an extra button as well compared to the G7 SE, and that one's for pairing up the dongle with it. Obviously that one doesn't need one. We've got clear triggers, which are new. So they're like transparent, so you can kind of see what's going on inside there. So these are pretty much like very similar to what you'll find on the Cyclone 2. So these are also transparent. But the instant trigger switches are actually on the trigger itself on this one. I hated this design as well because it's a little bit awkward. Like if you're, I don't know, holding the controller just like this and you're playing and you want to very quickly kind of switch it over, you can't do that. You've got to let go of the controller, kind of hold the trigger still and then flick it over. And it's just, unless you've got like a little bit of fingernail, it can be a bit tricky to do. They've definitely fixed that problem on the G7 Pro though, without even using it. Obviously the switch is on the back here, super easy to get to. So you can switch that over. So whilst you're mid-game, it's going to be a lot easier. Joysticks, a little bit different. So this one comes with, well, they're pretty much the same. So they're the same height, the same shape and everything like that. But instead of them being completely plastic in the middle, they've got like these metal rings. So again, same as what you'll find on the Cyclone 2. And these do pop off as well. Brand new controller, so a little bit on the stiff side. There we go. So the joystick caps do actually pop off. And you can either choose to slide the ring off and have no ring if you want. Although it's nice and smooth with the ring, so I do recommend leaving it on. But obviously if these get like dirty or worn out over time, you can replace them. I don't think Gamesir have actually provided any replacements yet. I don't think you can actually buy them. I think they're working on it though. Yeah, this controller is going to come with TMR sticks as well instead of Hall effect. And not to go into too much detail, I will explain kind of in more detail in the full review. But TMR, the main reason why you're going to be interested in that is just they behave a little bit more like a potentiometer. So Hall effect, the downside to them is because it's like two magnets, magnetic sensors. It's like it detects a field of the position of the joystick, and the TMR is very similar but very different. It just detects the field in a bit of a different way. So TMR tends to be more accurate, more precise. They can also detect smaller movements as well. So those very fine movements with the joysticks are going to be a little bit more precise. So for FPS, we are expecting this controller to perform a little bit better. So TMR joysticks, 2 extra buttons on the top, and clicky instant triggers. It is fully wireless as well. Now, there's been a lot of kind of confusion around, Gamesir were saying, we're bringing a wireless Xbox controller, and they are doing. They have confirmed that. This one, however, is not it. But there will be another version of this controller in the future. I don't know how far in the future, so don't ask me. But there is another version coming that will be fully wireless on Xbox. But at the moment, this one can only be used via the cable on Xbox. If you do want to use it wirelessly with a dongle or via Bluetooth, it's going to be PC or mobile only. This controller also does not have a DS4 mode, as far as I'm aware. But again, reason that I'm not really talking about too many features or fully reviewing the controller just yet is because things can change. They are still updating the Nexus software and everything else. So it's just to kind of give Gameshare the chance to really finalize everything, make sure everything's kind of, in its place how it should be before we really talk about it. Because, the last thing that I want to do is I want to say to you, oh yeah, this is great and this works like this, but then Gameshare kind of switch it up right at the last minute and go and like update the controller and it ends up being different. So I've said it's one thing, and then when you get it in your hands, it's not, So I'm just trying to avoid that, really. That's the main reason why I'm not really commenting on a lot at the moment. But I don't think too much is going to change. So far, overall, I've kind of been enjoying the experience with it. And I'll somehow figure out how to get all this back in here. The cable needs to line up like perfectly with that. Nope, that's not going to happen. Come on, we got this. We can do this. So if you've got any more questions, that I can answer, then fire away. It does support 1000 hertz on PC as well, and that will be with the dongle. So by the end of it, at the end of the month, I'm going to run some latency tests, and we're going to really find out kind of how responsive this controller is. But if the G7 SE and HE are anything to go off whatsoever, they've been pretty damn good in terms of latency. I know they are wired, so you kind of expect it to be, but yeah, we'll test that all out later at the end of the month once they've kind of finished all the updates and everything. And yeah, that's about it. Xbox wired mobile and PC tri mode. So yeah, it's not, they're not advertising like a DS4 mode or anything like that, which I do know, well, myself as well. I do make use of that. It will have a gyroscope as well. It does have a gyroscope built in, but again, I'm going to talk about more of that kind of later down the line. These things never go back together the way they're expected to. Yo, we got some people in the channel. It's good. What's good, Omar? Donatello, Flair, Senskul. Good morning, my man. Do I know the latency numbers for the sticks and buttons? Yeah, just saying. I'm going to test that later at the end of the month because again, like since I first got the controllers, there's been like a million updates Like I've been updating this thing nearly, well, 3 times a week since I got it. So they're still kind of working on things, and lots of things have changed. So I'm not really going to comment on that at the minute, and I'm not going to run any proper tests on it, but I'll find those out for you very shortly. I do recommend that people pre-order the controller. Is the shape the same as the Cyclone 2? No, no, it's not. It's the same shape as the G7 SE and HE. So these controllers right here. Sorry, I do apologize for hitting the mic there. So I do apologize if I burst anybody's eardrums. But yeah, these right here. So it's the same shape as these. Yeah. Face plates are interchangeable from what I can see as well. I don't think that's going to change by the end of the month. The Cyclone 2 has a little bit more of an aggressive kind of Xboxy shape compared. So no, they feel very different in the hand to the Cyclone 2, and the G7 Pro will as well. But it's still, I find it a comfortable controller. Well, what the hell did I do with that? The friction rings popped out. Okay. Getting delayed. Yeah. No, I know it's not always kind of like it can be irritating and annoying when that happens, but trust me, when you do get it in the hand, when they finally do ship it out to you, it's not going to be it's going to be worth the wait. And what I mean is like obviously the reason that they're delaying things is just to make sure everything goes out perfect. With a launch like this, what Gamesir obviously don't want to do is just kind of throw them out there as quick as possible, and let all the customers find out what's wrong. So they want to make sure that these are perfect, which is why myself and a bunch of other people have been sent these controllers kind of ahead of time, because we're not customers as such. I mean, I have bought Gamesir controllers, a handful of them, but we they sent them to us so that we can kind of provide feedback and go what's working, what's not, and tell them our advice on what should be changed, just to make sure and help them make sure the controllers are as good as they can be before they get them out to all you guys. And that's going to be the case. So what we're using at the minute, using the Blitz 2 for COD. Yes, I do have the Blitz 2. We've got an interesting live stream actually coming up for the Blitz 2. So I'm going to give some more details on that one, but we'll probably be giving away another one of those for free. We've given away one already, but we're going to give away another Blitz 2. So if anybody doesn't have it and wants to try it, then come along and join one of the live streams. We'll be giving one away. Now, the live stream, the controller isn't given away by myself. It's given away by Mojang themselves. So they're the ones who are offering the free controller. So, and they've asked for some certain criteria to be met. So we need basically, in one of the live streams, I'm going to be using the Blitz 2, and you just need to come along and hang out in there for as long as you can, and we'll try and give one away. Otherwise, I can't really say much more than that. But yeah, keep an eye out for it. You also used the Cyclone 2, but didn't like how light it felt. How light it felt, really? It is a light controller. I kind of like that about it. It is lighter than the G7s, actually. Yeah, I never noticed that. So yeah, these are lighter. No, sorry, these are heavier controllers. Now, again, I can't really say too much, but the G7 Pro, with it having, it's basically the same thing, but it's got extra buttons. It's also got a battery in there, etc. We can certainly assume it's going to be heavier. I'm not going to I'm not going to start getting it on the scales just yet, but you can certainly make the assumption that it's the same size and shape as this, but it's got extra things in it. So expect it to be heavier than these. But these yeah are heavier than the Cyclone 2, which I didn't realize before. Can some reviewers believe that the G7 Pro is worse than the Vader 4 Pro released a year ago for performance, slow response? um, I wouldn't assume so. FlyDigi controllers haven't always been the best for latency overall. These things are advertised at 1 millisecond, and the Vader 4 Pro is advertised at like 3 milliseconds for button latency. That is stick latency 1 millisecond. Slow response. But I've always liked Gamesir's response time on these controllers. Buttons, sticks, D-pad, everything. The Vader 4 Pro didn't always feel like the most responsive thing. So one of the main reasons, well, mainly the sticks. The sticks for me, I could never really. I mean, it's a good controller, the Vader 4 Pro, and I do really like the Apex 4 as well. Really, really do like that controller. I just, yeah, I think it's the Hall effect joysticks that really don't quite work for me. But yeah, before we drift off into like a million other controllers, pretty much going to wrap it up there, unless you've got some last minute questions, or any other things that you want to see about the controller. Again, keep an eye out towards the end of the month for the full review dropping. If you want to hold off on pre-ordering, then by all means, wait for the reviews to come through. I mean, you're not going to be missing anything, so just because somebody gets it before you doesn't mean anything. I'm usually actually, if it wasn't for Gamesir sending out these controllers to me directly, I would have probably actually waited myself. I probably wouldn't have bought one straight away. I would have probably waited about a month or two just to make sure that any defective, like if anything didn't go smoothly, like it happens from time to time. Um, if anything didn't go smoothly, then I wouldn't be kind of roped into it. I'd just make sure everything was great. I'd probably check out some other people's opinions and reviews first before buying it. So if you want to do that, then that's entirely up to you. If you do want to get a pre-order in though and get yours as early as possible, link in the description. If you purchase it through that link, um, it won't cost you any extra. It'll be the exact same price as the website, but I will get a very, very small amount of commission per sale. So it does greatly help me out if you decide to do that. You don't have to buy the G7 Pro as well. You can order your G7 SEs and HEs, your Cyclone 2s, your Supernovas. You can order all Gamesir products using the link in the description below, and I will be supported with any purchases that you do make. So just to let you know. Am I familiar with 8-bit door pads? No, I'm not. I'm not actually. I am yet to get hold of one of those. Is the linear response curve off like the Cyclone 2? So, they are TMR sticks in the G7 Pro. We can certainly assume they are the same actual modules that are in the Cyclone 2 and the Tarantula. I can't really comment on kind of the linearity or the circularity or how they feel. Can't really comment on that just yet because again, for all I know, next week there might be another update to the controller, so I'm just going to wait till all they're finished. But we can expect them. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't actually know. I'm assuming they are the same modules that you'll find in the Cyclone 2. So that's really. I hope that does kind of answer your question. I know it's not quite a direct answer to your question, but we'll find out more as we go along. I don't really have much negative things to say. I do have a couple of comments, as you know. You know, you're gonna get nothing but honesty from me when it comes to controllers. You know, these money greedy companies, I'm not taking their side. But yeah, I don't really have much. As a bit of a spoiler, I don't really have much negative to say. Just a couple of comments. Some things are going to be personal preference, obviously. But yeah, stick around for that. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for coming and checking this out with me. And if you're watching this after we go live, then don't forget you can catch us live over on my main channel 4 times a week: Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, every single week. So if you want to come out and come over and hang out with us, you can also follow me on Twitch. You can follow me on kick.com. It's about it, really. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time. Ciao, ciao.